did you even rope me into this? Because he roped me into this. Well, him over there, he roped me into this. Well, he roped me into this. Well, what about me? He roped me into this. Well, that one over there roped me into this. Well, he roped me into this. Your failures are your own, old man.
Alright, episode 5 here, and it's really took me a lot of coffee to get there. Today we go deeper into the Tier 8 production line rabbit hole. So we have the factory in the lower lake. It produced the elevator components for phase 1, 2 and 3. And now we have the new expansion in the superior lake, and it produced the elevator components for phase 4. And now this is really the time to flex your brain.
Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
We've been in game for 26 hours now, and we're going to rush tier 7 and 8 milestones. And to start, we're going to use all those fixing points that we are accumulating since episode 2. We're going to rob the shop. We're going to take everything that might be useful to us. And what I really need now is to buy supercomputers. We will produce them soon, but the real priority for now is to unlock the final milestone of tier 8, the enrichment particle milestone, to start our nuclear pasta production as quickly as possible. This is truly the episode in which all the decisions we have made before will turn out to be fruitful. This is the moment where all the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. As you can see, the upper extension of the factory is now running at full capacity. We produce more than 10 computers and heavy modular frame per minute. We also make batteries, and we are going to need them for an alternate recipe, and this is important.
Pathetic humans, prepare to write down the recipe!
We use the recipe for supercomputers requiring batteries, and of course we are also producing aluminum ingots. Just look at those nice hot aluminum ingots just straight out the foundry. We can produce and accumulate aluminum casing. We also produce alkyd sheets for belts Mark V, but the aluminum casing is what we already did now. Because you see, all milestones from tier 7 and 8 needs components that are produced with aluminum casing. So here we are, right next to our ingot production, we have a small section producing everything we need for the final phase of the game. It's a very basic and simple. It's so simple I still manually bring the computer and heavy modular frame by hand, even if, of course, I will set up the belts later on, but I still don't need them right now. Those are not large quantities at the moment, but this is what we need to unlock everything and start setting up the final production lines of a game. Radios, heat exchanger, fused frame, everything we're going to need soon is already in production. And now we just reached the last step. Most of these recipes also require nitrogen. And that's good, because we have a source of nitrogen located very close to this place. And as you can see, I keep it simple. I bring it by pipe directly from the nitrogen node, and this is really the beauty of this location and the main reason why I choose it. No need to cross the map to bring back resources, and in addition, the area is green, it is pleasant to play, and icing on the cake, the node change for the satisfactory release only have a very slight impact on the area, so it will remain the best secret starting area, the one you never heard about, but when you play here, you simply won't start anywhere else. So now we are ready for nuclear pasta production. But before getting started, just a little word from our generous and beloved patron. So this is it, we are bringing the copper and iron nodes from the Golden Coast area. This was right next to our factory and we are going to need it. And we are getting to use also an alternative recipe. We are going to use the copper alloy recipe requiring both copper and iron to produce twice as many ingots, which we immediately transform into copper powder. We just have to bring the powder back to the area where we already produced radios and fused modular frames, and we just got the 3 pieces needed for nuclear pasta. And I guess you understand what is going to happen now, because now it's the time for the jump cut.
My fellow Americans, I think we all know where this is going, so let's just skip to the end.
And there we are. I built 2 particle accelerators. We are 4 hours later and you can see the new copper and iron conveyor are already running at full speed. The 2 accelerators are already running at 150% efficiency and it consumes all those resources. This is important to produce at the beginning because soon the factory will expand to produce assembly director systems and rocket engines. And when those new sections will be online, it will be necessary to reduce the proportion of nuclear pasta to have enough energy to power the entire factory. But for now, this is not yet the case, so we produce this component as fast as possible. And you can see I also brought the space elevator right next to those particle accelerators. We can take a look at it and now you can see the results. We are 32 hours into the game and we already have reached those 1000 nuclear pasta. But of course, it is time to take a better look at the small oil extension I set up in the middle of episode 2. Because this is where we produce oil and rubber, but also most of the energy we need comes from that place. And now that we have particle accelerators working, our electricity network is in total overload. We are running on the batteries and we are going to empty them quickly, and we can expect that everything is going to blow up soon after that. So here is the factory in the middle of episode 2 when we had just built it. All our production lines are located in the main factory, but as liquids are difficult to move and transport, we have also built a small extension whose only mission is to transform the oil into plastic and rubber to bring it more easily to the main factory. And the few active electric generators were mainly used to burn the heavy fuel oil residues, and at that time we were producing around 2000 megawatts and the Golden Coast oil factory was really small. Now it's much bigger because it's here that we produce 90% of our energy. And all this extra oil is directly converted into fuel oil to be directly burned in our electric generators. It is the simplest setup that you can imagine. It produces electricity in a quite inefficient way, but in fact, we do not need to be very efficient. We just need 10,000 megawatts. And we won't really need much more than this. And this is more or less what we are already producing right now. Because nuclear energy is too complex and too long to set up, and coal energy is not viable. We need coal for both the production of steel and aluminium, and there is no escape, no alternate recipe for that problem. The fact is, we cannot replace steel. Coal should not be used to produce energy, and our few coal generators dating from the beginning of the game have now become almost useless. And the good thing is that now, with all this energy, we can go further into the final production lines. Last episode we have automated heavy modular frame production. We were using the basic recipe, but now it's a lot more efficient. We have switched to the encased heavy modular frame alternative recipe. It was easy as we just need to replace screws with concrete, and it's a lot more effective. And now you can take a look at the overbuilding. We have also considerably increased our production of computers, and we also produce about 20 per minute. So we have a lot more manufacturers producing adaptive control units, because adaptive control units require those two components, and we have now 6 of them, and our production is gradually increasing to reach 100% efficiency within a few hours. And this is possible thanks to the stock of automated wiring that we have been producing since episode 2. We filled a series of 6 entire containers with it, and this was the goal. At the beginning of the Let's Play, we were greatly overproducing this component, but now we are gradually emptying those containers. So now we are ready to automate supercomputers. We are now 36 hours into the game, and this part of the factory we have automated the production of supercomputers is also the part of the factory where we are automating radios. Right now, here you can see the new area with its 4 manufacturers on the top. 2 of them are just for supercomputer production. So, you can see that we are already producing 5 supercomputers per minute thanks to those 2 manufacturers. And just below you can see that we start to accumulate those supercomputers. There are already several hundreds of them, but the most important thing is what is happening just under the bed bus connecting the 2 factories. We have 2 containers there that are already full of adaptive control units, and they are ready for the mass production of assembly reactor systems. So you can see everything is very dense here. Just under the supercomputer, we are producing the electromagnetic rods, and we also produce the AI limiters just there, because we need them for the rods and the quartz computers. And just below, you have the quartz computer production, which used to make the supercomputer, and the batteries that come from a very close area. That's the part we turn on at the end of episode 4. So here we are. We only have 2 space elevator parts left to produce, and the next one will be extremely simple. Those are the electromagnetic generators, which require batteries and versatile frames, which we already have produced since the first episode of this Let's Play. Which means that at this precise moment, we already accumulated enough of them to produce the 4,000 electromagnetic generators that we are going to need. It's already done, and our oversized battery production line will just do the rest. We only have the rocket engines left, which will be more complicated. That's true. This is where our choices have led us. First, the continuous production of phase 1 and 2 elevator parts. Since the start of the game, just one assembler is needed, but it should always produce. Then the second step was the production of energy mainly by oil. We are saving as much as possible plastic and rubber by using strategic alternative recipes on computer and supercomputer production. And finally, the last step was accumulation of the most complicated component to produce, and as quickly and as early as possible. It was in particular the case with automated wiring and nuclear pasta. So, this was the 5th episode of this short series of Let's Play focusing on the endgame, and this episode was probably the penultimate episode of this Let's Play. If you like that work, it is time to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I always try to improve the quality of what I produce. I read your feedback, so thank you. Thanks again for watching the video, and for those who want to discover the end of this story, I will see you next week.